Hi everyone, let's begin. Harmonization with this session 100%, going both ways. Wonderful. So let's take a moment, take a deeper look into the pattern of energy that's presenting itself to us today. So starting off with a tilting sensation off towards that right side. The peak sensation seems to be around this eye and this ear. It makes me want to squint in this way. It kind of starts to wrap around the forehead here as well. So sort of this whole area here as a tilting line that's wide. It's very wide in space, a large, thick vector, if you will. I guess that's the way to put it. That seems to be exiting my skull over here. Interesting. A broad area over here, but the largest area of sensation is the tip of my occiput here, which is it's the part of your skull that articulates with the first bone of your spine. So the most intense sensations right now, this ear, this area of my face and the occiput, I can definitely feel an area of sensation surrounding the occiput as well. It's all one width of a vector that's going in this direction. Now let's see. We need to know more about that. Is there more here? Okay, so we need to know more about that. Let's go techniques. So let's go. Okay, so starting off with a little bit of Garcia Ennergetics, us towards this energy, no issue. This energy towards us. Okay, so there's an issue with this energy towards us. So let's look into categories of why that might be. Looking into, let's see here, something to do with relationships. Something in the present moment, not extending into the future, which is interesting. Let's check out something affecting us at a physical level and a spiritual level. No mental, emotional component, which makes me think likely something metaphysical, right? So let's go into something unknown. Okay. Something unknown, something I don't have a category for, but in the metaphysical mix and affecting us in this way, affecting our relationships in the present moment, affecting us in a physical and spiritual way, something metaphysical, something that I don't currently have a category for. So let's see, is there more that I need to know? Yes, so do I need to know more about what this is? I need to perceive the shape of this thing. Yeah, so if I knew how to perceive the shape of this thing, if I knew how to know what I needed to know, what would I do? I'm seeing puppeteers use that little cross, and strings hang down from the cross, and they maneuver it and manipulate it like this, and it makes their puppet move. I'm seeing those strings, and it's attached into this vector, and the vector is starting to wobble. Something about manipulation is coming up. That's a word that's popping in through the left ear towards the right, which is unusual. That's relevant for some reason. So let's see. I'm talking about sound reverberations. It's as though someone said something from my left side of my body. That's the perception of the sound that came in through my thoughts in that moment in time. A word dropped into my conscious awareness, and the textural sensation was as though someone said that to me rather than I was thinking it. And it was as though someone said it to me from my left side. So left to right, that's relevant. Energetic dynamics, no. So time, okay, so something that's affecting us moving into the future, but primarily in this present moment. So something that initiated some time ago, it's impacting in the primary moment of initiation, the primary moment of activation of this unknown pattern. is the present moment, is right now. Whatever it's doing to activate is primarily affecting us as we are now, not as we'll be showing up in the future. Something about this puppeteer string affecting these emotions. There's more that we need to know. Let's start with the emotions, yes? So let's go with, let's see, techniques again to see different emotions. So, I haven't had that come up here before. Let's checking out different pulse points around my body, seeing which gland, which organ in traditional Chinese medicine is this emotion affecting. And that'll give us a better clue to what the emotion might be. Something in the belly button, that's interesting. So that implies something inherited, so something ancestral. So now that we know that, let's go with timeline. So ancestral emotion, when was this inherited? About 300 years ago, so sometime in the 1700s, sometime in the 1720s, let's say. And now that we're there, can we look into this ancestor? Can we feel more of this emotion? Still the same thing, yeah, so still we're checking for glands, but we needed to figure out that it was ancestral, it was inherited first. Bring our attention towards that moment on the timeline when these ancestors were existing, living, doing what they were doing, feeling the feelings that got stuck in their body. Now from there, tuning our awareness to that point in time, checking different pulse points. Something to do with the hypothalamus. Not exactly to do with a pulse point, but it is to do with emotions. Hypothalamic emotions typically to do with being in an emergency situation, can also be to do with feeling as though, never mind, not relevant, but something about pride is showing up. Pride is another emotion that can come up with brain-involved structures. Pride and being in an emergency situation seem to be two different emotions. Okay, now I'm getting a separation of the tilting sensation. So instead of it being one thick vector, as we mentioned earlier, now it's two lines, one vector and then another vector. It's interesting. They are heading in different directions, right? Notice the movements that you make when you're not thinking. They are likely relevant to the pattern of energy. I just moved my hands like this without thinking, implying differing directions. Testing that said, yes, there is a difference in vectors. These two things are moving in different directions. Is that relevant? Is this from one group of individuals, from two groups of individuals in a combative state of conscious interaction with one another in the 1700s. Two groups of individuals moving in different directions. One perceives themselves in an emergency situation. In the situation, they are threatened by what is going on. Feeling a buzzing sensation at the tip of my tailbone, which is verification of the emotion of threatened alongside this emergency. And this moving in the same vector, same direction, opposite vector, no, same vector, opposite direction, as the emotion of pride from another group of individuals, again at this same point in time, which makes me think there's some sort of psychic attack. No, that's not exactly what's going on. No. Let's see, technique still, yes, so let's go, no, let's, okay. First page, top of page, bottom of page, energy, so let's go with, my cat is here to say hello. I don't have the ability to tilt the camera, but she's rubbing on my hands. That's nice. She's helping with the energy, as you can see right here. Right? Now let's check out, that was bottom of the page still. Is this true? Yeah. These are some categories that I've written down at various points in time. hearing help. Again, in the left towards the right. So someone asking for help. Do we need to ask for help? Someone is asking us for help in this moment in time. The group of individuals heading towards this vector, right? This direction and this vector having to do with the emergency situation and feeling threatened. But there's still more information that we need to know, and we know what it is. That label is just stuck. It's on the tip of my tongue. Literally, there's a vibrational sensation at the tip of my tongue, which makes me think seventh cranial nerve having to do with facial function, some aspects of taste represented by the tip of the tongue. Let's go with something about taste. Something about bitter is the word that's coming to mind. So we test the gallbladder meridian and we get weakness. So something about the gallbladder as well. Bitter about something. Is that our emotion? Is that the emotion of this side? That's the emotion of this side. So bitter along with pride. Interesting. Psychic block is the phrase that's coming to mind. When we have multiple series of emotions moving through specifically the meridian system of the body. Emotions can move through the aura around the body, they can move through the informational field, which treats it almost as though the body and the aura were the same thing, or they can get specifically stuck within the energetic pipelines, the systems, the meridians in traditional Chinese medicine of the body. In this case, it's sort of like these multiple emotions are congealing into one stuck ball in one of the pipes in our body that have to do with how our brain communicates to our organs. That's how I think about the meridian system. The brain communicates to the organs through these pipes. Right? We have a lot of different pipes in our bodies. Veins, arteries, lymphatics. Meridians are another form of pipe in our bodies that connect our brain to our organs. Those pipes also run through specific bones and specific muscles. So when we run into these emotional blockages, which can be like if I put a hard-boiled egg down my sink drain, it's probably not a big deal if I just put one hard-boiled egg down my sink drain. But if I don't have a garbage disposal in my sink and I put 5 or 6 hard-boiled eggs down that drain, I'm going to get a clog. And that pipe is going to get backed up. That water pressure is going to get backed up, and it's going to impact the physical sensations in the body to some extent. This is why acupuncturists place needles where they place needles, to try to stretch out the energy of that clog in the pipe so that then it can flow through the water pressure, the energy pressure of the energy that's flowing through that pipe, right? We're getting some good blur here and some dizziness. That's good. Let's check out. Cool. So multiple emotions from multiple different ancestors congealing into one pipeline to do with the hypothalamus, to do with the gallbladder. Is there another organ system that we need to know about? So specifically the hypothalamus and the gallbladder seem to be these areas where this stuck emotion is. The pipelines in the body that are clogged have to do with these two structures in the body. The gallbladder, the hypothalamus of the brain, which typically don't have a huge amount of interaction with each other. Are they swapped? That makes sense. So that's why we're running into dysfunction. Emotions that are supposed to be in the pipeline to do with the hypothalamus are in the pipeline of the gallbladder. Emotions that are supposed to be in the pipeline of the gallbladder are in the pipeline of the hypothalamus. We have a swap that's gone on. So first we need to move those back into the proper place, and then we can continue to learn more about what's going on. So if I knew how to do that, what would I do? Great. So these moved into the proper places. This is true to Jesus of Nazareth. That's wonderful. Is there more that we need to know? Yes, so these vectors are still present and stuck at that moment in time 300 years ago, roughly 300 years ago. But now they are in the proper placement. Now there is no confusion. but these multiple pieces, this clog, is still present in the pipes. So let's check out, is there more that we need to know outside of that? Can we release these energies at this time? Wonderful. A classic, easy 10 swipes. And that tilting sensation just kind of dissipated, almost like it became a dust cloud that just spread apart in the wind. Okay. Did these emotions from this moment in time 300 years ago release from our energy? Wonderful. Is there anything more that we need to know? Good. Is this session complete for today? Wonderful. Well, I hope that treated you so well, and I will see you next time. Bye.